Hello everyone and welcome back to Packs and Recreation. And today, you saw the title, we are going to Dragon Ball, baby! One of the biggest series ever in the history of the world. That includes manga, anime, like telenovelas, whatever you want to think of. Dragon Ball is like top tier right there. Yes, I know, I also love One Piece. One Piece, like you could say, is Dragon Ball's heir. Some people say Naruto, or some people say Bleach. Those people don't get it. Like Dragon Ball is the alpha and the omega of shonen, and Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball the card game, or Dragon Ball Cardass, is something that is being around for a long time, and I love Dragon Ball. We're going to even start opening maybe some figures that I have laying around because, again, I love Dragon Ball. And, you know, but we need a proper playmat for it. So I do have one. I wanted to just put it as is, but I want to do like a mini bonus review for the playmat because it turns out that Ultra Pro has some playmats, or at least had some playmats for Dragon Ball Super, the card game. And the fun thing is they cost more or less the same as the normal playmats. And as you can see, Ultra Pro right there, and they come with a tube. So you know when you normally need to buy the tubes separately? Well, these ones come with a tube, which is actually amazing because they're not that more expensive than the normal ones. And then you pop them up. Yes, I couldn't, like, the only one I could get is Super Saiyan 4. I know, it's not canon, you hate it, whatever. Actually, my favorite one, I will let you guess which one is my favorite transformation. You will realize as we move forward with this video. But you know, between the options that I had, that, you know, Ultra Pro has this tendency for PNGs for the playmats. This one is pretty cool. Like, maybe Dragon Ball GT is not the best thing ever, but the Super Saiyan 4 design is amazing. So whoever doesn't like Super Saiyan 4 doesn't have a soul. So here is the man himself, Son Goku. And because of this, I bought a couple of booster boxes and stuff like that, and we're going to open them in future videos. But I wanted to start with something special. And I had these for a long time, and I wasn't even, for the longest time, I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to do Dragon Ball videos because, you know, I don't know, like Magic, Pokemon, etc. Like, I didn't feel like it. Like, I had some cards because, like, all closed. I haven't opened them yet, but like, because of nostalgia and all that, I love Dragon Ball. Like, just here within reach, if I reach to the left side of the camera, which you can't normally see, this is one of the figures that oversees my operation daily, which is Son Goku. And it's Son Goku in this pose of like, yep, I'm gonna go there and bust Cell's ass. Like, I love this figure because it's just that pose, that movement, that smile of like, yep, let's go to the challenge. And Dragon Ball has all sorts of figures and merchandise and all that. And I love the ones that are different. And, you know, the master Toriyama passed away. And it was a very hard moment for anyone that ever enjoyed Dragon Ball. And I had this, and I was like, well, let me open it for the channel. And I made the mistake of opening the box where it came on, because it was one of those cardboard boxes from Bandai Namco / Cardass that is like, you are like, oh, it's the outside box. And it's like, no, that's the box. Once you open it, you are left with this, which is the actual product. So this is, I never seen what's inside. I literally opened the box and was like, oh, F in the chat. So it's here. And it's going to be the first video on Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball. I'm a Dragon Ball nerd. Dragon Ball is important for a lot of people across the world, and even more if you are born in certain countries like, I don't know, like Spain, Latin America, like, I don't know, I guess Italy to a degree, France is a very formative thing for a lot of people, and the Master Toriyama is a very important person for a lot of us, and it's a shame that he's no longer with us, but you know what they say, as long as someone remembers you, you're never really gone. So the Master Toriyama will be with us forever, because, you know, his work is and will be with us forever, right? So Now, with that sentimental note out of the way, because, well, you have to remember the master first. That's the way you have to do it. I guess it's the best way to start these videos, right? This is the... see, like, they fall off, but they're close, I swear to God. Like, this is the Dragon Ball Cardass Premium Edition Collectors Box. So, when I saw this, I was like, I don't believe you. This is great. This is why it's turned backwards, like it's Japanese style, so it's like a manga. And this is what it looks like. It's a collection of cards, but this is from Cardass, right? So Cardass is the Japanese distributor, maker, publisher of cards for a lot of card games in Japan, like Digimon, Dragon Ball, One Piece. Everything that is Bandai Namco, pretty much, and other things is Cardass. So let's see why this is so meaningful and why I was in love with this. So let's start in order. It comes with a lot of mini folders, right? So the first one is the battle set. So this is similar to something that was done already for other products. Like whenever you have a collection like this, you don't need to open it. It is a sleeved. You can open it if you want. Like, see, like this is you remove this and there you go. But it is a sleeve already, so you don't need to unsleeve it. Now, this is backwards, funny enough. Like, this is the front of the box, but then if you want to do this in the proper order, you need to do it like this, which is interesting to say the least. So we're going to remove everything, right? There's nothing else in there. This is something to put in your bookcase or something like that. This is something very special for any Dragon Ball fan. And if you like cards, even more. So here you have them, like manga volumes, and we're going in this order, the order of the box. Let's start with the first one, right? So Dragon Ball Cardass, and they are backwards, actually. So Premium Edition Collector Sheet. So you have here like the guide of things, right? It gives you, it's kind of like a tour of Dragon Ball's history, which I love. But it's, you know, it's a tour of Dragon Ball's history, but it's also really, you know, like capitalism. So it's cool, but it doesn't go too crazy. I don't go to spoil it because I want you to see them one by one. But yeah, basically kind of goes across the story of Dragon Ball. So this is just like the presentation one. We're going to put it to the side so I can keep the order once I finish this. So this is the first one, Dragon Ball Cardass Deluxe Set, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, which you will find weird that it's like, wait, the entirety of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z fit in a single one? It's like, well, yes. For better or worse, this is Dragon Ball Super's card game normally, so yeah, they have priority. But this is, mind you, this is not the Dragon Ball Super card game, even though that's what likely we're going to open moving forward, and that's where the playmat is from. This is Dragon Ball Cardass. So this is just collectible cards, and they are in Japanese, mind you. And yes, there are not that many as you may think, but they are like condensing the Dragon Ball's history as much as possible. See, like 6 cards, 6 different moments. And it's that type of card that is really like, if you played Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle, or Dragon Ball Super Dokkan Battle, I don't know how it's called, but I guess it's Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle. You know the cards that are there, like composed illustrations? Well, it's basically this. And you know that weird type of foil that they have? Well, it's the type that they have here. So you have 3 cards for Dragon Ball and 3 cards for Dragon Ball Z. Sadly, I can't read. I can't read, period. I can't read. Now, I can't read Japanese, but I do know Dragon Ball pretty well. So you have the main 3 arcs from Dragon Ball. You have the search for the original Dragon Balls and the first martial arts tournament that Goku participates on. Then you have the Red Army Saga, which is again another milestone. And then you have the Piccolo Daimao Saga, which is the final arc of Dragon Ball. This is a perfect condensation of everything Dragon Ball, and here you have not only the gathering of the Dragon Balls, but you also have the first tournament, the first Tenkaichi Budokai, which is, you know, the moment that Dragon Ball really exploded. The Red Army Saga, the Red Ribbon Saga is just great, and you have all the main villains like General Blue and Tao Pai Pai and so on there to show in such a small frame. And then you have the Piccolo Daimao saga with Tambourine and so on, and Goku doing the Ozaru punch, which is just great. And then for Dragon Ball Z, you have the 3 main arcs of Dragon Ball Z, although some people will say, at least they try to condensate it in 3 arcs, kind of, but not really. Like, it's just 3 cards that, you know, I wouldn't divide Dragon Ball Z like this, but I see why they did it. Because, yeah, the normal division that everyone does is Freezer, Cell, Majin Buu, right? So it will be 1 for Freezer, 1 for Cell, 1 for Majin Buu, but you will be missing the Saiyan saga, which a lot of people just forget about. That is its own saga. It's not part of the Freezer saga, although it goes perfectly into it. So you have the first part, which is the first part of Dragon Ball Z, which is, well, the Saiyan saga. It gets its own card, which I think it fits because, well, this is where we are going. This is what changes the nature of Son Goku. Son Goku goes from a monkey boy to Superman, basically. It's literally an alien from another planet, and Piccolo also becomes an alien from another planet. And we literally go to another planet. And Vegeta gets introduced, and so on. Then you have the 3 main enemies that everyone remembers from Dragon Ball Z, with Son Goku in Super Saiyan going there. And then you have, like, to call it somehow, the last stages of power of Dragon Ball Z, I guess, which is Krillin and Piccolo going at it, but then you have Gotenks in Super Saiyan 3, Mystic Gohan, which is technically Ultimate Adult Gohan or something, because naming conventions for Dragon Ball, right? And then you have Vegito in there, with a pose that is not very Vegito-like, but still. So overall, pretty cool. And this is like, yeah, it's a strong summary. Like, if you give me the choice, I will have like 6 cards per saga, or sorry, well, yes, per saga, why not? I will have like 6 cards per Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but it is what it is. Then we move at number 2, which is Dragon Ball Cardass Deluxe Set, and then you have Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super Premium Edition. So this is kind of the constant here, and you will see a lot of Dragon Ball Super. So if you don't like Dragon Ball Super, my apologies ahead of time. So Dragon Ball GT is easy to divide into 3 because Dragon Ball GT technically only has 3 arcs, so it is what it is. And still, they prefer to ignore the last 2 arcs, kind of. So you have the Baby Saga and the search for the Black Star Dragon Balls, and it's kind of reflected here. You have Baby there. You know, this is the beginning of Dragon Ball GT. That attempt that they did at recapturing the magic of Dragon Ball, but keeping some of the power craziness from Dragon Ball Z. It kind of didn't work. So they introduced Baby. Baby's already here. Baby is actually a very good antagonist, and I like the origin story for him. And I think it's the best thing from Dragon Ball GT. And Goku transforms into Super Saiyan 4, which, you know, it's a milestone in itself. Some people don't like the transformation. Some people don't like that it breaks the logic of the course of the Black Star Dragon Balls, and Goku can basically be like adult. By the way, I'm going to keep saying Goku because that's how you pronounce it. It's not Goku, it's Goku. So fight me, bro. And I am a nerd of Dragon Ball, I told you. So, and then the last arc, which is the Evil Dragon Saga, where you have like Vegeta also goes to Super Saiyan 4, and then you have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which is, everything is kind of rushed. That's why you get this introduction and this introduction. Technically, it should be like search for the Dragon Balls and Baby, Super Android 17, and then Dark Dragon Saga. But no one cares about those, so it's just the transformations and Baby. So it is what it is. And then Dragon Ball Super, this is cleaner in terms of divisions. So you have the obvious divisions. So although it's missing the beginning of Dragon Ball Super, which is interesting, because funny enough, that's in another set. But this is, you have the beginning, which is Dragon Ball Z Fukatsu no F, Resurrection F. It stays here as Dragon Ball Super because it's based on the anime and the anime TV series. But if you see the movie is technically called Dragon Ball Z Fukatsu no F. So, or Dragon Ball Zeto. But I digress. So you have the second saga of Dragon Ball Super. So everything is Super Saiyan Blue, basically. Even though Super Saiyan Blue is technically the worst transformation because they never won any fight. So it is what it is. Then you have the Tournament 6 saga, which you know. And then you have the Goku Black Saga, and or well, Samazu Saga, I guess you can call it. But everyone calls it the Goku Black, and that's kind of it. You have the Tournament of Power, and obviously you're missing the first part, so we likely are going to go to the next one. Again, this is kind of cool. You don't need to open it to enjoy it. If you open it, you can touch the cards, which I think is a plus maybe, but I don't feel the need for it. The next one is Dragon Ball Cardass Deluxe Set, Dragon Ball Super Selection Set, Premium Edition. So I love how many adjectives are here. Like everything is awesome. The cards in here, you also have 6 cards, kind of the constant here. It's like special pockets. It's always the same art of the dragon because it's the premium edition, right? So it's the same thing. And you have here more of a reflection of Dragon Ball Super purely, which makes me wish that the other one focused on Dragon Ball GT more, or just like one for Dragon Ball, one for Dragon Ball, one for Dragon Ball Z, one for Dragon Ball GT, and then one for Dragon Ball Super, but whatever. So you have the Battle of the Gods, Fukatsu no F, Restoration of Freezer, Restoration F, or whatever. Tournament 6 Saga, so Universe 6 Tournament Saga, which has 2 instances for reasons, but it is what it is. You can see the foil, the square foil that they have. Then you have the Goku Black Saga and the Goku Black Saga again, but in this case versus Goku Black, in this case versus Samazu. I guess that it's okay that it's divided. For example, yes, Hit is the best moment, and yes, the moment that Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue, takes a deep breath and goes Kaioken. It's one of the, like, what a flash from the past. Like, the Kaioken is the best technique, no doubt. And yes, the only reason why he couldn't use the Kaioken was because of the instability of the Super Saiyan transformation. But with Super Saiyan Blue, which is all about God Ki and so on, he could. So that was a great moment. And then you have Samazu and Goku Black, which was a kind of confusing arc in the anime. I think it was done better in the manga. But then the end was very Deus Ex Machina, quite literally. And there you go. So even the drawing style is different. You can see that it's less convoluted because I think, well, they are more segregated, but also less things happen in Dragon Ball Super compared to like condensing Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball and in 3 cards and Dragon Ball Z in 3 cards. So it is what it is. So again, this is Dragon Ball Super Selection Set. Now, next in line is the Dragon Ball Cardass Deluxe Set, Dragon Ball Super Broly Premium Edition. So you can imagine where this is going. So this one is different. You have here Son Goku in that animation style that was shown in the trailer that, you know, completely conquered our hearts by going to that old school animation style and losing our collective minds. So like, amazing right there. I love it that this one is different. I guess it was produced later, but this says everything you need to. You have the colors, you have the arrow there because these are Cardass cards, so you always have this thing in the corner. And then you have the cards themselves. So you have the fusion of Gogeta Blue, one of the most important moments, I will say. Broly going, Legendary Super Saiyan mode, or whatever you want to call it. And you have the other transformations of Broly in the back, like a process. You have Freezer going, like, just giving a kick, looking badass, but he was humiliated in that movie, and you can actually tell by looking at the bag, which tells the story. Goku the same. You can see the transformations going. He just went to normal to Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan Blue, and you have it here. It has quite a bunch of hair compared to the normal Super Saiyan Blue transformation, but whatever. Vegeta also has one of the most important moments, which is we finally saw Vegeta going Super Saiyan God in the anime. He went directly to Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. The explanation was that it's just better, which is the same logic why he doesn't use Super Saiyan 3, technically. But in the manga, he actually did turn on and off Super Saiyan between Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Red and Super Saiyan Blue, which was genius because Super Saiyan Blue was consuming a lot more energy. So he was in red until the moment of punching, and he went to blue, punch, and then came back. That was the whole thing in the manga. In the anime, it wasn't like that. In the tournament, in the Universe 6 Tournament of Power, if I recall correctly. And then you have, well, the image that everyone knows, and you know, and there you go. And this image of Goku is just great. And again, another 6 cards. You by this point, you're likely thinking, we get a lot of cardboard, dossiers for just 6 cards multiple times instead of just putting more than 6 cards in a single dossier. And to that I say, you're not wrong. So this is also for Dragon Ball Super Broly. This is more of a Super Saiyan yellow kind of focus. Premium edition and roll set. Also deluxe set. So this one, you have some frames for the movie on the right, and then this is more of a focus of characters kind of thing. That type of card that feels like, to me, it's very nostalgic because a lot of toys and stuff like that you will buy, or like, at least counterfeit stuff and so on will be like this, and you'll be like, oh well, it's not official, but actually the Japanese cards are like this, which is great, right? With that like cross foil and so on. And you'll see here the cards. Well, you have Goku, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, Broly in just normal state. And you have like the people, you have the relevant people here, right? Like the moments before and so on. Maybe you can appreciate it because of the plastic. I'm not going to remove the plastic. Sorry, it sucks, but I am that type of person. You saw the gloves, you saw the channel. Come on. So it's the and then you have Gold Freezer or Frieza, which another great one. The end there, and then we're almost there. I promise. This is the second to last Dragon Ball Super Broly Premium Edition episode set. You can tell when was this released or around which time, because like Dragon Ball Superhero is nowhere here. But again, more images from the movie, more stills, and then more characters of relevance. So you have Freezer in the flashback, right? So this is a lot of flashback moments. You have Son Goku when he was Kakaroto, and the parents. First time we see the in mainstream media, like Goku's mom. Freezer just trying to manipulate Broly, and Broly going Super Saiyan Berserk or whatever you want to call it. The fusion moment, which is always great, and then the last moment of Goku saying, "Bye guys, love you, keep training," and that's it. Which is a very good summary of like past, present, and future. Not bad at all. And then you have all sorts of colors. Then the last one is kind of a summary, and it's kind of out of order technically, but if you look at the order of the manga, I guess this is the last one, maybe, but not really, because Broly has to be after the Tournament of Power, otherwise why didn't they use Broly, right? So this is the Dragon Ball Super Battle Set Premium Edition, and this is for the Tournament of Power. Ironically enough, they have like 3 for Broly, the movie, which made them a ton of money, so it makes sense, but only 1 for the Tournament of Power, which is arguably everyone's favorite arc from Dragon Ball Super. This is again in the normal back to the dragon, and you have some moments here. I wouldn't say, by looking at these cards, I wouldn't say that these are the best compositions that could be made from the Tournament of Power. They look kind of weird, to be honest. So you have Goku versus Topo, I think. No, it wasn't Topo. I forgot the name of this guy. Damn. So, which it was a thing, but it wasn't really a thing. So this card is okay. This moment is amazing. The moment that Goku is an Ultra Instinct and just uses his intelligence, because remember, Goku is not an idiot. He's actually very smart. The problem is that they insist in making Goku a dumb character for some reason, and he understands that he can't attack because in Ultra Instinct Sign, as it's called now, he's too focused on reflexes, and he can't attack because it's not a reflex for him. So he thinks of the only thing that is a reflex for him, which is the Kamehameha, which makes sense. And he surfs the attack with the Kamehameha and then blasts her face with the Kamehameha. It's a great moment. Vegeta almost going, like fighting a pretty much a god of destruction there. A great moment for Vegeta. And the Super Saiyan Blue 1.1 kind of thing that Vegeta unlocks. perfect or mastered Ultra Instinct, a great moment, and who can forget those violins? Dun, 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 dun. The final battle between Goku and Frieza and Jiren, which Jiren is not my favorite enemy by any means in terms of design, and I think the story was not, or his backstory or motivations were not handled properly. But seeing Goku and Frieza tagging together, certainly a moment. And the last card is kind of there, which is, it's meaningful because it's Gohan protecting Piccolo the same way he protected him back in the day, right? But I don't know, I wouldn't put it as a top moment in the Tournament of Power. It is a great moment, but, I guess we have better moments now due to Dragon Ball Super Hero, but again, this was released before that, to my understanding. So that's the set. So overall, you pick all these, you put them all together, and you have this premium Cardass collection. Again, it's not the Dragon Ball Super card game. It's its cousin, which is just Dragon Ball Cardass or Dragon Ball Super Cardass, which is more of a collectible kind of thing. And this box, to me, as a person that loves, collectible cards and so on, it's great. Obviously, if you gave me the choice, I would have changed some of those. I wouldn't have 3 dedicated to Broly. I get it. It sold a lot. Let's move on. But I will have 1 just for Dragon Ball, 1 just for Dragon Ball Z, 1 just for Dragon Ball GT. And yes, you will have too many cards for Dragon Ball GT and not enough cards for Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball. But, at least it feels more balanced than what we got. And you could have 1 card for Majin Buu, 1 card for Frieza, 1 card for Cell, right? 1 card for Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z, right? And so on. But overall, it feels like a great compilation, and the best way of starting to deal with Dragon Ball stuff in the channel, to be honest. Dragon Ball means a lot to me, and I certainly means a lot for a lot of people. So yeah, my friends, let me know what you think about this. Would you pick it up, or you see it as a very weird collectible that is full of plastic folders full of with 6 cards each? Mind you, yes, we could have opened them and there you go, but it's pointless because this thing is to be triple sleeved as it is, main sleeve and then sleeves, and then the cards are sleeves and sleeve themselves. So the way I see it is perfect. You can watch them and be yeah, that's cool, and then just if you want to play with them, sure. But sadly, these don't translate to the Dragon Ball Super card game, so we will see other products for that in the future, I'm sure, because I already have them. Foreshadowing. And yeah, bro, I like this. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you will buy it. The Dragon Ball Cardass Premium Collectors Box. And let me know what your feelings about Dragon Ball. Are you also a Dragon Ball fan like me? I would love to hear your stories and to fight on the classic fight of which one is more powerful, Ultimate Gohan or Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku, because of the filler in the anime where Son Goku in Super Saiyan 3 fights versus Buhan, or Buu with Gohan absorbed, for some minutes to hold him off, which is filler and therefore is not canon, and that's why the confusion is there. But hey, everyone loves Super Saiyan 3, am I right? So it is what it is. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and all those cool things. And I will see you next time on PAX and Recreation. Bye-bye.